We are here today to announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about massive volatility coming in, as there is some big event today which will influence the market, not only the crypto market, but also all stock markets, S&P 500, NASDAQ, and so on. It's very important that we talk about this. And we are going to have a little bit more spotlight on XRP, HBAR, and Metacade today. And we are going to look at all of that more towards the end of the stream. So make sure to stay all the way through the stream. So good morning to each and every one of you. At a first glance, crypto, Bitcoin doesn't look that spectacular today, but when we're looking at Bitcoin sitting just at the lower end on the daily of this range in which it has been for the better part of the last 2 months, then we are expecting a make or break in that sense. Either you bounce, or I cut it off. No, just kidding. Either you bounce or you fall off this range and you put in a new chart pattern, a bigger range, new lows here, right, to the direction of 100,000, which we really don't want to see. So here it's a make or break. The same goes for Ethereum, where we do have somewhat of a breakout of this bull flag to the upside, or at least it wants to go there. So it wants to turn bullish, Bitcoin wants to bounce, everything wants to go up, but there is something that is going on today, and that will influence this quite a bit, right? So Fed Chair Powell is going to speak on August 22, which is today, amid speculation on rate cuts and replacement, right? So will he get replaced? Will he be able to cut the rates and save his job? We will see, right? But it's not only him. It's a Jackson Hole speech. It's called. It's happening once per year, and all the Fed bankers, they're getting together in Jackson Hole, somewhere in a 5-star hotel in the mountains, right? And they are and then they are also talking to the press. So Powell's speech comes as data showing some impact of tariffs on inflation, but the job market is also slowing, a combination fueling expectations for the Fed to cut interest rates by 0.25% when it meets next month. So we are going to see what is happening, but we already can get a glimpse on what is happening, because we do have data on what happened the last times when Powell spoke at Jackson Hole, right? So here we see it. This is the upcoming one, right? So we do see 5 days before, day of the speech, 1 and 5 days after, right? And then also what happened. So last time we had August 23rd, day before the speech was plus 1%. Then the speech happened, 0.24%, and this is the S&P 500, right? This is not crypto. So crypto is expected to react harder. then 1 day after already turning negative, 5 days after minus 4% on S&P 500. Market initially flat, then declined, right? And you see the same trend here from before and after, big negative, -2 to -7, right? Then here minus 0.5 to plus 0.5 was the only positive reaction, because he went dovish in 2021. That was our last bull market, so to say, right? 2021, big bull market exuberance, August 27, and then let the money printer go crazy. And we can see, if we look at it in a longer historical context, that the maximum drawdown from the Jackson Hole drawdowns in the S&P 500 was always you had a big, almost always you have a big drawdown, -4, -9, -18. You see here, right, there was Fed steady, no cut, subprime stress, Lehman collapse, -18, QE anticipation, QE2 hint, Eurozone crisis, -17%, right? Then here, Powell Payne speech in 2022, higher for longer fear. So usually Jackson Hole was somewhat always, there is a problem and we are going to, so something big was announced, and then the reaction to it, right? So would it be different this time? Obviously not, right? The question is, will he announce the rate cut at Jackson Hole, right? Or will he just continue with his it's too soon and whatever, right? So Powell, the last ones were mild autumn pullback, Powell's Payne speech, higher for longer, and then post-hike stability, like stabilize. Let's see if he's getting the too late, you're fired on the newspapers. Who knows, right? But this is something we look out for. This is happening today. It's happening in the US afternoon. And I'm going already to the next topic because there's a couple of things to talk and discover today. So we are moving fast. This is from TechDev. I think it's very interesting because you have basically what we are looking at here is the business cycle. And that one in a high time frame, right? I think it's probably at least the monthly, if not the bi-monthly chart. The thing with TechDev is he doesn't really give much context because he wants you to buy his stuff, which is fine, right? Everyone wants to make monies. But what we see here is that every time when we were in this phase of the business cycle, we did not top. We did actually top when we were in the red phase. So you see here how this developed and that the business cycles are not always of the same length. And we do see that we are in a very long phase already, which hints to that we have a very lengthened cycle this time due to the monetary policy, right? And that comes along. This is why I'm showing this together with the Fed Powell, that not necessarily we can expect this cycle to go exactly the same length as the others with this absolutely stretched out monetary policy, right? So we could expect the cycle to actually go longer, also in crypto. I mean, we already see it. What the heck is going on, right? That also would mean, though, when we flip from green to red is only where basically this parabolic phase is going on. So it seems to be that monetary-wise, this phase is stretched out by these high interest rate globally, and then not coming out like this. It is a possibility that we will see this phase way later just because of the monetary policy lagging so far behind, right? It's a possibility that we should consider, right? It would impact massively our strategy because it could lead to that we sell way too soon, right? So that is why we need to But also it can fool us if this is wrong, right? And this conception is wrong. It could fool us into selling way too late, because when this doesn't hold true, right? It's only one data point on our analysis. Okay, so yeah, these are my thoughts on what is going on in the market right now. Completely against this conception is our monthly setup here on Bitcoin, right, with the TSI close to topping and so on. So it's really difficult to get a glimpse here. I'll stick with trusting in what I see here in the charts, which is way safer, sticking with your own plan than looking at one thing and then getting thrown off. But guys, if you enjoyed this macro analysis talk so far, then make sure to smash up the like button. If you've never seen it, then subscribe to channel notifications on, very important. And let's welcome the rare hodlers, because today the chat is dominated and only rare hodlers are in the chat. So welcome for everyone. By the way, it's very unfair that I always have the chat above pro legendary and the guys on the very left. So I welcome Troy Paris is here. Good morning, PH. Bring on the pain. Pro Legendary is here. Sub boys. G Money is here. GM. And Pukal Jotric is here. Morning, PH. Morning, hodlers. May you all stay patient and may we reap the benefits. Absolutely, that is the credo. And thank you for each and every one of the rare hodlers that is supporting this channel so far. We are deep in the analysis, but it is fun, right? It also is fun. I know not everything's fun, but considering what we've just seen, it makes absolute sense, right? So keep in mind this lengthened business cycle, and now we're looking at the DXY, the dollar strength measured against the basket or a basket of other currencies, right? And usually when the dollar was strong, that was a bad time for crypto and risk on assets. We see it up here. This zone here was our absolute bear market bottom. And then here, this was our bull market top. And what we did see, and this is different from the other phases, is that we did not come down and have a big bull run. Instead, we came all this phase, and only now we collapsed to the downside, and here we are hovering right now, and we expect this to go all the way down here on rate cuts, right? So that would basically mean, yes, our bull run is prolonged, because if you look at the previous bull run, we came from here, from the top, and we just went down and bottomed. That was our bull run. Of course, our bull run is way longer now, as we can see it here, right? So the question is, here also day-wise, right? If we calculate this from top to bottom, this explosive phase of the bull run was 294 days. And then we go from here, top to where we are right now. And we see that we are already in this 1,000 days, so to say, right? Since this is crazy. And also here, this bull phase, DXY-wise, until bottoming was 399 days. So yeah, very, very different in that sense. And I hate it when things is, or when someone says, this time is different. But I mean, the facts are already on the table. This time was different, and the question is, how different is it going to be in the end, right? Some things will not change, some things are not different, but some things are. If we break out here on Ethereum, we are back to Ethereum for our chart, big fat falling channel. Chances are to break to the upside. If we break out here, this could lead to nice altcoin runs subsequently. And we do have some news for the altcoins, and I'm addressing this right away now. Looking at the altcoins quickly on the daily, we are slightly red. OKB does not stop pumping, but the rest is basically, it feels like OKB is sucking the life out of everything else. Everything's pumping, but I think there could be pumps out of XRP and HBAR soon. We do have some news, and that is Swift is going to begin live digital asset trials in November 2025, handling 150 trillion in transaction. And who is going to be in it, why it matters. This development could also benefit crypto-related payment networks such as XRP and HBAR, known for fast, low-cost transactions. It comes alongside Swift's ongoing transition to the ISO 2022 standard, which enhances the richness and usability of financial data cross-border. So are HBAR and XRP involved? Potentially, right? Who is involved for sure is Chainlink, right? Because Chainlink has the official partnership there. But yeah, let's see. This could be big for those assets. So we are going to look at this a little bit deeper, how they are doing in here, right? So let's see XRP, USDT, but also put out always the warning that these coins are already extremely big. They have already pumped, but we have also a very nice. This reminds me of previous altcoin season, right? You have XRP here, you have this breakout, right? You have this retest and this pump curve into next pump, right? This reminds me so much of the last altcoin season, more than 4 years ago, right? Let's see. So the indicators on the monthly, they look really good for XRP here. No TSI cross yet inside, bullish momentum going on. So everything looks right for XRP right now. I think there could be coming more. I don't know if it goes to 4 or 5 or 8. I don't know, right? That remains to be seen. I would always go and say, if you pass 80 on the RSI, which happened here quickly, and we saw the big correction coming in, but if you go to really 90 or something like that, that would definitely be the point where I'd say I'd take profit. I did exit my XRP already here because I had a very, very small bag. I did already leave this bag behind, but I think I still believe this goes higher. I'm still rooting for everyone who does so, right? Let's look at HBAR also here. Hedera hash graph. We do see, I mean, it's very clear what's being built out here, right? If you take this as a neckline, roughly, then we do see that we have some fat inverse head and shoulders in the making, which wants to break out here at some point, right? We are not there yet. The trend is intact. But that's the first thing that comes to my mind. And I would say, let's look at it quickly from a non-logarithmic perspective, so we can say, I mean, it's not super clean, right? Maybe let's put it on a weekly, then it should be a little bit more cleanish. There we go. Yeah, I mean, probably, it's not that clean. I mean, you really have to want to see that, because these things, they pointed above it, right? But it looks like something like that. I don't know if it's that clean, because you can't really detect the neckline here, right? You really have to want to see this. Okay, let's agree to say that potentially, yeah, I mean, potential. You could argue, let's not take inverse head and shoulders, but something like this, right? Let's see if this comes in. But it's unconfirmed, right? For HBAR, it looks very different from XRP. But that is nice. Then let's check out the top 200 here quickly on the altcoins. We do have some green movers. One of them is MX. One of them is Bio and Ultima. MX you barely can see here behind the chat. But yeah, let's see how this turns out. And then the top 200 to 300, we have some movers as well. /Vision Labs, never heard of it. Let's see. Let's go to CoinGecko, what that is. /Vision Labs. If anyone has that, it's pumping crazy. Seems to be around since at least April. Is pioneering the transformation of cryptocurrency payment landscape with its innovative ecosystem built on Mantle network. So it's on Mantle. Mantle itself has been pumping before, embracing decentralization, community empowerment. 100% of protocol fees go back into the ecosystem, rewarding token stakers and fostering active participation. That is looking crazy, right? But it's basically fulfilling what we said a couple of weeks ago, that with Ethereum pumping, that probably the next thing is everything financial payments, DeFi, and so on. This is crazy, right? I mean, let's go to the weekly chart. It's not around that long, and it's massively overbought here. Wow. Crazy. This is but also these charts. This is the beginning of altcoin season, right? I mean, these charts you've never seen in any other phases in this way, right? It comes out, it hovers, it plays dead some time, right? And then here on the break of this trend line, boom! It's just massive explosion. What is the if you buy the absolute bottom to top, it's almost a 20x within a couple of months. That's absolutely nuts. Oh my god. 37% up on the day, 108 on the week, 500% on the month. But there are other coins like monthly. You see it here, right? Some coins dominate absolutely the bracket. Mix with 1,200. Let's also check out what Mix does, so we learn a little bit about the coins that have pumped. So Mix tokens can be traded on centralized crypto exchanges and decentralized exchanges. The most popular exchange to buy. Okay, that is that. What? But what is it? What does it do? Does it say what it does? It doesn't really. Let's see. Let's see what it does on Twitter. Maybe that. Trade. Okay, so it's revolutionizing on-chain perpetual permissionless zero slippage, community-driven, backed by Sequoia. Wow. Okay. So it seems that this is some trading application. They are retweeting Binance, so they're pumping it. Probably the pump comes out of listing rumors, which is exactly what happened last altcoin season to coins. So very interesting. Mix finance. So we see, and this is something, if we want to play some degenerate games, what could be interesting is we see this, right, that this SVL, which is finance related, Mix finance related, so maybe some DeFi plays that have not pumped yet could be the thing to pump next, right? So it seems that there is some kind of a niche pumping. Maybe we can see that there's some I remember there was some that you could look for the categories, right? Which categories are pumping right now? If we can identify anything in that sense. Smart contract. Made in China is pumping. Yield-bearing stablecoins. Oracle, that also is a spinning narrative. Cross-chain communication. Okay, so as a bracket, it seems that the financial application is not yet super active. RWA, but we already see what is reacting, right? So the question is, RWA is relatively in front, so this is something to observe maybe. Here we see it. HOT is stablecoin protocol, cat-themed coins, and decentralized exchanges, DEXs. Yeah. Let's see what's pumping there. Fituna, Superb, Shadow, and Serum are in the green, massive in the green. Okay, interesting. Okay, yeah. So this is big, obviously. OKB is absolutely nuts still. Let's look at OKB as well. There we go. Yeah, OKB doesn't stop pumping. I still believe that. I'm still of the opinion that this is where I would want to take profits already. I don't know. It's probably very hard, but you can't really lose on that. But no one here has OKB as far as I know. It's only a 5x out of nothing, right? But the coin is also relatively large, 5 billion market cap. That's pretty big. It's in the top 100. So definitely would be something where I say I'd take profit on that. If I had it, I would take profit. But don't worry, if your coin is not the one that is a big fat bubble, at some point it will be. Because I think this is going to trickle down the chain. Not every coin will pump, but many coins will pump. So it's only a matter of time, right? We do see all these coins where we would say, oh, they're really good. They are minus 30% on the month, right? So, except Chainlink is 30%. But I think Chainlink's pump time is still to come, right? I think this is only beginning. But look at BitTensor, Tau, Quant, for example. We have VeChain, we have Avalanche, we have Aptos, we have FET, we have, Polkadot, we don't know really, but we have Say, we have Renda, all in the red. Their time to shine will come. Pengu, right? Casper, The Graph, Algorand, XRP, they're all here sitting minus 15 to minus 30. And then you have one coin, OKB, dominating the market right now. This will change. Like, there will be these large caps, they will start pumping. SUI minus 13, right? They all will be pumping at some point. Let's check some of them out here also. For example, GRT against USDT. So this fell out, right? This is crazy because we were hoping that this closes a nice chart pattern. This fell out. It did find support here on this range. It's similar to. It reminds me of VeChain, where it's this double bottomish thing, right, on the midterm, waiting to make a move, right? It looks like it really looks like it's not the time yet, and then at some point it will pump. Also, like VeChain, we already had mid-cycle a really nice upswing here in 23 to 24, which was a 500% move, and now we are still lower. I do think that this should be able to go higher. By the way, I think the go time is when trends like these get broken to the upside, right? And we will compress here. Let's see what's happening. This is for the graph. We do have, what was it, FET, right? Not the FET, but Fetch AI. How does that look? I think we're still in the same that we had been drawing in since ever, right? This upwards trend. Also trying to break out of this situation here. So here, this is still valid as it was way ago, right? Don't need that anymore here. But yeah, we're looking to regain bullish momentum on FET. Tau, USDT, let's see. And we're looking against USDT. Obviously, you can open all charts, look against Bitcoin. Probably they are underperforming there. Here for Tau, I would say, yeah, this is where you want to break out of, right? This, and then go back to local high at beyond 713, which would be already a really nice result, right? Buying in here, going 109, 110%. But obviously very, very large coins here. Not so large, and we put it in the spotlight, is Metacade. One more look at Metacade. There we go. Yeah, still retesting. Nothing has changed in that sense. We've bounced just a little bit off of it, which is good. But we're still in this macro trading range. Yes, Solana in a second. Just quickly for Metacade, let's check out Twitter. What's going on? Metacade, is that the, yeah, that is the, I'm always confused if this is the official channel, but it is. Base app chain launch partner, our biggest partnership yet. That is the pinned comment. They are doing a lot in this NFT drop zone right now. They are by the way, they did ramp up massively the prize pools that you can get on the tournament side. So 1 million gaming tournament. So this is really good. Calm before the chaos in just over 24 hours. Peace in Metacade will be over and the real war begins, and so on. They've just doing stuff here. Latest post from 15 hours ago, so they are active. They are posting almost every day. They get engagement and visibility, so I think everything's fine around Metacade. Really looking good. Solana was the next one requested to look a little bit and this is worth looking into Solana because it's basically the one that besides Ethereum will probably drive this run. We do have a massive sideways accumulation, so to say, before we go to the next move. We're already gearing up. We do have the same situation as in many coins of the market, basically having a cup, potentially forming a handle here, which would bring us into somewhere October if we go like this, and then boom, right? That's where the all-time high rocket price discovery should go, towards direction $1,000 per soul. I don't think it will reach 1,000, but I think it will have an absolute degenerate pump. And you always have to see that Solana, it's already number 6, right? It already is $100 billion coin. That means for Solana to double, there needs to be 100 billion flowing into this coin, right? So for us to go to $400, that would be basically what is necessary right now. Another 100 billion into the coin. So let's not get to too exaggerated targets. Let's keep it simple. But I think if we were to close this pattern like this and break out and go, it's going to be massive amounts of money flowing into that, potentially even out of the Ethereum into Solana, probably after Ethereum had its massive pump already, yeah, or at the same time. Also, we did not look at SUI, I think, or did we look at SUI? I already forgetting. I think we did not look at SUI yet. SUI, yeah, it has started to reverse into an uptrend. Let's see, for SUI is the same, like it wants to challenge all-time high at 530 and then go, right? Then it's go time. I think that is what we're all looking for, right? But it all depends on ETH. ETH is, by the way, it starts moving it seems. Let's see if this breakout is real. This is only the 4-hour chart, so I'm really cautious still. But if this breakout is real, then the targets that we have are 5,200, 5,500 as next stage, which could take some time, but yeah, let's see. It all, and now spinning the circle slowly but surely backwards, comes down to what do we get easing conditions? Yes, no, right? Can we break? I mean, in the end, on this small time frame, I really want to see us breaking above, reversing here and breaking above 4,350, closing above, and then starting the pump again. We do want to see that Bitcoin dominance is continuing to fall, but so far this is our most decisive Bitcoin dominance fall that we had since a long time. And let's see, will it collapse now? Will we see this degenerate alt season once more? I think so. Yes, I think this could be it, right? This could be the time where we really see big fat altcoin pumps. We've fallen down to sub 60% already, slightly in the green right now on the weekly, but the continuation is probably coming as we do not have much resistance more here. So the Bitcoin dominance chart looks juicy. Yeah. It seems that we have somewhat like we don't have a trend line here, but we do see that that we are basically having lower highs here over time in that, right? It looks like it's going to break out of consolidation zone tomorrow, possibly. Which one? To the downside, you mean, like dominance? Yeah, I hope, and it would align with some bullishness, some dovishness out of Jackson Hole today. Jackson Hole speech coming in today, as we know, right? Back in Bitcoin here to see what's going on. So it's today at 4, apparently, the Powell speech. 4 in the US, that would be like somewhere between, I think it's then at 10 in the morning or something like that. I don't even know. It says here 4. I don't know if it's 4 in the US or 4 here, but I think this shows me my time zone, right? BTC DOM to the downside. I use Total 3 and USDT chart to confirm as well. I also look at Total 2, Total 3, and so on. This is what I see on the weekly. It looks extremely nice, just to say the least. It aligns with what Ethereum is doing here. We do have a little bit more of an offset, a little bit more of the rejection basically going on. So we are still expecting this to go in the next weeks. Total 3 would be that. Hopefully that would poise the breakout to Total 2, Total 3 of this chart pattern going into price discovery. That would give us the insane pumps. Little bit worrying for me still is the others chart, because it's very far off, but okay. And then right now the others dominance, right, which has fallen out, as you know. That was something that we were looking at for a long time. So the non-top 10 are struggling, which makes absolutely sense with all the, let's say, pump fund coins and what happened there. It's even questionable how much value the others chart has after the multitude of coins that has been launched. But yeah, let's see. It comes down. The more you go down into the top sub 100 coins and so on, the more it's really necessary to find quality coins, and the more difficult it gets to not like throw money at something that's dead. Analysis on ETH, we did do that the entire stream yesterday. Basically, what we do see right now is flag pattern, falling channel pattern, breaking out basically here on the 4-hourly, longer chart time frame, monthly, right? We did already break out. We are going to challenge all-time high. ETH BTC is king right now, in my opinion. Where by the way, that's some older ETH BTC chart, I think, or is it? Yeah, I did have another ETH BTC chart. Where is my other ETH BTC chart? Oh, there we go. Yeah, this one. This one, we clearly see that we did bounce. We are halfway through for ETH, which aligns absolutely with everything that we've been looking at from USDT perspective, also for with the altcoin money flow, right? The alt season money flow, where you say it's ETH season right now. So basically you have BTC and alts, and basically, just to illustrate that, both are flowing into this, right? In the sense, right? So alts are bleeding into ETH, BTC profits are trickling into ETH, leading to ETH outperformance to both BTC but also the rest of the market, right? So if we were to, so this for me proves that we are in ETH season right now. So phase 2 of the alt season path. And the fact that OKB and XRP and so on are doing well shows that we are coming closer to an overlap phase already for ETH, but ETH needs to go into price discovery first. So if we were to put XRP against ETH, we do see that XRP did outperform, but right now, since 4 months, XRP is bleeding, or since more than a little more, if you consider the wick there, XRP is bleeding into ETH, right? Or against ETH, which means basically into ETH. If you take whatever other coin like HBAR ETH, I don't know if that even exists, apparently there's no chart. VET ETH, yeah, VET ETH we do have. You see that also VeChain is bleeding against ETH here, right? So VeChain bleeds into ETH. There are still these, when it has pumps, small phases of outperformance. Sol against ETH also, right, outperforms, but now since let's see if there's another one. Binance, okay, it's not much, but we do have that, right? Also right now here is 4 or 5 months. This is when ETH started to turn around, right? And every coin right now at the moment bleeds into ETH. And I think that if you look at the ETH BTC, that at some point where we go higher here, it will be vice versa, right? All the profits go from ETH into the big caps, and that's where the large caps are outperforming ETH. But is it right now? Is it mid-end December? Is it beginning of October? I don't know, right? Following or looking at this chart pattern, it's right here you see these 4 or 5 months exactly in this part where the other coins are turning down against ETH. So showing that ETH is dominating right now, which proves to me that this is ETH season, which proves to me that we have taken step 2 in altcoin, path to altcoin season, right? Rodolfo says, yeah, I can't read the others chart. All I know is alt season isn't here yet. Exactly. So it's ETH season, not alt season. And I think that we will know that alt season is coming closer once the top 10 coins are starting to have massive pumps, right? Yeah, so this is my take also on that. I agree with you, Rodolfo. Yeah, anyways, let's do what else can we look at? Do we want to look at anything else? Question. I don't. So Rodolfo says, so once ETH BTC hits the range high here, there is a possibility of alt season. I think the possibility depends on the higher we go. I don't think we have to hit this, that altcoin season has to start. I think it's probably, I mean, this is ETH BTC, so technically we would need ETH against total 3 or something like that, right? I have no idea how to do this on TradingView. Or ETH against others or whatever. But yes, technically when we come closer to this, I would say that's the time, right? So how could we play, or how could we, it's not easy. I would say it's not the best to have this chart alone, right? I would say you go, probably the best way would be ETH USDT on its USDT pair, to say, okay, we breach all-time high and fly out of the all-time high. That would probably already kick off alt season, and then we could overlay ETH against BTC on that as well, so that we know when in its USDT value it's still flying, but here it's right. You get what I mean? And then maybe as another overlay, we could put total 3. I mean, why do the colors have to be so similar? Can I change this? Can I change the colors on this? For sure I can. I'd probably just take a couple of these charts and overlay this and see what happens against, like, while Ethereum is pumping. Because on the total 3, you want to observe if there is the breakout happening or not, right? On the Bitcoin dominance, you want to see if Bitcoin dominance is still there. Yeah. Look at Syrup chart. It seems to be consolidating around support. What is the, 1 second, Syrup, Maple Finance. Yeah, okay. What the heck? These things. Why did everyone start putting for finance coins food, right? There was Sunday Swap, and there was Sushi Swap and Pancake Swap, and then there's Maple Finance, Syrup, USDT. There we go. Yeah. What the heck? This space is so funny. It's insane. Yeah. I mean, it has gone up wildly, right? By the way, where are my indicators for that? Why aren't they in here? Let me pull this up in another Syrup USDT. Okay, there we go. Indicators are there. Yeah, it seems. I mean, if this, just speculating here, because I mean you can't do much of this chart, right? Other than you see that probably you're headed into another bull cross on the weekly. on stochastic RSI at some point, but 4 hour chart, I think it's basing around 0.4. I mean, we are at 0.4, and for sure that is the case. Let's see. Yeah, it seems to have a strong support here at 4010, right here, right here. Yeah, but we need to be careful, because if we draw the support like this, the first thing that comes to my mind is this. Question mark, right? So if we get a September FUD low, whatever, all market going down, then you lose support here. Then I think you could go down to this, right? At least, which is then 33. I mean, it doesn't have to happen. Many head and shoulders don't play out. This is why you wait for the break to the downside, but technically you could go lower, and from here that would be almost a 20% correction, right? So yeah, let's observe this. Would be interesting, right? My timeframes are intraday and daily. Okay, yeah, I'm more my view is macro, right? So for me daily is a low time frame. I'm trying to see whether this is a position for the run, not for day trading. Yeah. I wouldn't hold this when BTC continues its correction. I agree, it will most likely go down lower. Yeah, exactly. So BTC is now at, as we said in the beginning of the stream, sitting at support. And if this Jackson Hole speech doesn't come out the right way, you could easily correct down here to 100K, and then after that continue to go higher, right? So not necessarily we have any guarantees here. This is a very risky time, and I would not take any positions right now until this Powell speech is over from a macro perspective. Like for me, basically that is find coins, get into position, and at some point in the altcoin season, I'm going to sell off gradually and then try to move out of all positions that I have except Bitcoin, right? So that is my approach to this. And why I'm looking at charts so much is more to reassess every day and every week where we are in the cycle, if the cycle is still alive, if the coins are still worth holding, and so on, right? So yeah, that is basically it. Mewtwo late to the stream, no problem, man. Good to see you. But we are almost at the end here of the stream. By the way, if you keep your profits in gems, and gems are closed in a loop, you don't have to pay taxes until gems become withdrawable again, I assume. It says Mewtwo. I don't know about that, to be honest, and that depends also probably on the country. He's talking about VV here. Thoughts on Litecoin? It has interesting price action. LTC USDT. Yeah, we did look at this a while ago, right? Outlining that that there is massive support unfolding here. This is the weekly, so we did get rejected many times at this previous bull market support, previous bear market resistance. So I think that for Litecoin, if you look at the broader picture, this support needs to hold. And here, if we go over this, we will see another run out of Litecoin, just as we did in 2021. But this for the macro, right? Again, like you see, I'm looking at macro charts. And then I would expect Litecoin to try, once we break this here, as there's so much air, to go to 300 again. Yeah, that's my take on it. What's wrong with paying taxes? Yeah, nothing's wrong with paying taxes, I guess. That is, I mean, you are on the very safe side, paying all your taxes, and that's good. But obviously, if you, for example, look at the German context, you have this 1 year holding. If you hold a coin for more than 1 year, then you are then you have the profits tax free, right? Whereas if you are trading back and forth all the time, you are subject to pretty high tax. So basically, holding is incentivized by tax law. Yeah. Anyways, guys, that is it for today. No more coins to look at. But guys, make sure to smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel, notifications on, and let me know what other coins you want to look at in the comments below. Also, wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon, and I catch you in the next video or live stream. Have a good one, and bye.